Welcome in, everybody. Guess what? The SEC West champs are here. Yes, we are here today. The Alabama Crimson Tide have won. The final score, let me go back and check it. The final score, 49-21, going into Lexington, Kentucky, taking the victory from those Wildcats. Man, fellas, welcome to the show. As you always know, in the chat, everybody, welcome. We got myself, Coach Smook. We got Coach Jay in the middle, and you got Coach Shawn. Coach Jay, how you feeling, man? What's good, bro?
I feel really good about this win. Offensively, we looked a lot better. Jaylen Milroe continues to impress, continues to make big strides and make improvements. This defensive line, man, I feel really bad for these guys because they really only allowed one touchdown. So I'm going to sit up here and say that I'm going to correct you and say the score was 49-7 instead of 49-21 because this defensive line played their tails off, and that score does not reflect how these guys played. These guys played phenomenally well. Every single one of them from the bench players, the practice squad players, everybody played a tremendous game on that defensive line. Unfortunately, though, it was our linebackers, mainly Trez Marshall, who we'll talk about in a second, who did not play that well today and ended up costing us big. But no, overall wise, I really like this unit. This unit continues to progress. Everything seems on stride. Angry Nick Saban in the second half when we're up by 30 points is back. And I can't wait to kind of move forward. And obviously we got Chattanooga on our path and then Auburn, but right now we're going to need it. We're going to need it. I think just like I said last week, we're starting to find our stride, starting to find our rhythm. And if we continue to play like this, we're going to have a great chance of not just potentially winning, beating Georgia for an SC championship game, or, depending if they win against Ole Miss, but potentially competing for a national championship.
Exactly, man. Coach Shawn, take it away. Final reactions, initial reactions to the victory over Kentucky.
This game to me is more like what was the final score?
49-21.
This is more like a 49-7 game.
Mm-hmm.
You take away the Kool-Aid milk from the punt that gave them field position. You take away the second string, gave them the touchdown. That's really one real touchdown those guys really scored. But for me, the number one thing I want to say, bro, I put it on the Twitter just a while ago. Terrion Arnold, bro. If this dude is not on somebody's All-American list, it's a travesty. It's a dead-gum travesty, bro. That dude, bro, they challenging him, and he is making plays, bro, in the run game, pass coverage. Terrion Arnold, man. I mean, the defense did their thing as they always do. The offense is getting better and better and better. But for me, it's Terrion Arnold. It's the play of our secondary, man. It's the play of both of our corners. Even Christian Story played well. So to me, it's the secondary. The secondary, just Terrion Arnold. That's all I'm gonna say. Terrion Arnold.
Right. Coach Jay, me and Coach Jay were in the game day chat on Discord, man. And Terrion Arnold is just different. And I went on record. I told him in the chat, I said, y'all could put me down for saying it, y'all could beat me up later. I don't care. Terrion Arnold, if I got it, my green screen came down. But if I gotta take a DB in this draft, I'm taking Arnold. I'm easily taking Arnold. He's getting better every week. If you wanted to talk about most improved players this year alone, let's put Terrion Arnold right there in the mix because he's given us Jaylen Milroe progression type of growth on the defensive side. We literally have, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to letting Kool-Aid slide inside at this point and get him out of those cover situations one-on-ones because he hasn't performed up to standard yet. Give him the intermediate work. Give him the overhang work. He's been solid on, sealing the run game. Like we saw him seal the edge on the stretch play. They tried to run out to his side after he gave up a big play or messed up the punt, muffed the punt. But I mean, why hasn't it clicked for my guy to play every down? Every down is what we're getting from Arnold. Amos comes in, plays with extreme effort. Story comes in and plays with extreme effort. The true freshman Downs is just playing lights out, playing with extreme effort to chase down that 73-yard run. Man, that's just grit. That's just showing that you want to win. And we need more of that from one of our supposed to be leaders in Kool-Aid McKinstry. But we'll get into that. But initially, final reaction, man, I am more than satisfied with how this offense, Tommy Rees called this game, man. I am more than satisfied with this play calling from Tommy Rees. Coach Jay, I'm gonna throw it back to you, man. Tommy Rees, let's jump on top. Let's jump right into it. Tommy Rees play calling in this game versus Kentucky. What you going to grade him? And just break it down. Give me your keys that you saw.
No, he did a really good job. I thought he did a really good job setting up particular matchups. Like I talked about this all season long. I love his receiving concepts. He has the coverage beaters out there. He's got he can definitely beat you with the intermediate routes. For the most part, I just haven't been really the biggest fan of his run designs. Sometimes we're just running straight out of shotgun. Kind of the usage of 12 personnel in certain situations. But I think that was definitely a little cleaned up over the last 3 to 4 weeks. But just the overall matchups, man, and some of the overall key play designs that I really, really like. That fake toss with CJ Dupree going up the seam, that was nice. I really, really enjoyed that play call. I love the utilization for the most part of letting Jaylen Milroe go through his key progressions, and just for the most part taking his time and just giving what the defense gives him. I just feel like for the most part this offense it's starting to really develop and becoming a lot more complete. Because it's not just utilizing on one of Jaylen Milroe's strengths, it's pretty much utilizing on all of Jaylen Milroe's strengths, including his passing ability. As now that he's starting to get better of going through his progressions, stepping up a lot more in the pocket, and just going through his reads for the most part. So I really, really like that particular aspect of what I'm seeing for Tommy Rees. And just again, I keep talking about it, man. The receivers just look comfortable. Right. The stats might not particularly show it all the time, but these receivers compared to last year just look way more comfortable with their routes. Nothing seems too complex. Nobody's running into each other for the most part, right? There's coverage beaters. I mean, there's all different type of aspects as far as what these receivers can run that can absolutely just shred a defense. So I love what I'm seeing for Tommy Rees. Again, so far, I thought for the most part, Kentucky, they paid a little bit more closer attention to Jaylen Milroe. They had a quarterback spy on him as an adjustment in the second half, but they started to come a little bit more down. Started underestimating a lot our deep game, and Jaylen Milroe took advantage of those opportunities. And I think a lot of that, again, maybe not give too much credit to Tommy Rees on, but I think that there has to be some sort of credit to the coaching of what he's giving so far to Jaylen Milroe. So I said it before, man. Tommy Rees is getting better, right? Tommy Rees has been getting better, man. I think from the beginning of the season, I think all three of us have said that it's there. But it's just for Jaylen Milroe right now to grasp. But I think right now he is really starting to really grasp how Tommy Rees wants him to play in this offense. And again, we continue to do that, man. This offense is going to be more dangerous, and we don't have to keep relying on the defense to definitely win us games. This offense is, again, 2 games in a row now. We scored 40+ points because of this offense. Great job, and this was a better defense going against Kentucky compared to what we faced against LSU.
It's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
For me, man, it's very similar to
this.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Let me get the super chat real quick and then go right into it, bro. Gavin came with the 199 super chat, man. Bro, refs were so dirty. He made detrimental mistakes. I agree, man. And I'm pretty sure we're going to jump into it about the key mistakes that were being made repeatedly. That kind of just was like, But go ahead, Coach Shawn.
For me, it's very similar to what Coach Jay said. I noticed that they ran a lot of redundant things, so that tells me that they sat down together and kind of got on the same page. Like, okay, I can recognize from that script that it's almost like they pulled plays that he was comfortable with or something and put them all together. Very, 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 but they worked. You know what I mean? So I was very, very happy with that. I like the play script that Tommy's sticking to. Down the stretch, I feel like we're gonna have to implement the running game more. Maybe not in the next game, but maybe on the road at Auburn. Maybe Auburn will do a great job on film study with us. I'm not sure if they have the talent to stop us, but after the Chattanooga game, I think business will pick up again, because that's where we will really know how long or how far or our positioning or what we got to play for. We got the SEC championship. We'll go into that game against who. And so I really want to get our running game going a little bit more. You can't say nothing about the offensive effort tonight. You can't say nothing about the offensive script. Everything was great tonight.
Yes.
It was a few times that they got us, and that was due to the linebacker play. Kind of like I think one of you guys said earlier, Trey's got caught up a lot of different times. I seen one time where Christian Sorek, he kind of got confused and didn't guard his man coming across the formation. and let that man go. But small mistakes that I think they'll get cleaned up. I liked everything about the offense tonight, man. I like the fact we got Ty in. Get Jaylen out of there, man. Get him out of there. Get Ty in. Let him get some work. You never know, we might need that young man. So I really, really enjoyed everything about today's win.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of everything you guys kind of tied in with the offense, I like to highlight the usage of the tight end in the passing game today was very key. You saw how it was just designed tight end looks that made Jaylen Milroe realize how easy that of a pass that is for him, and we saw how accurate he could be in the middle of the field on the intermediate passing, and that was a promising thing to see. But not only to just it passing, but the protection that led to the passing. At one point, Jaylen Milroe was just back there kind of, patting. And then the early passing touchdown, the deep pass, I want to say it was to Roydell Williams when he was streaking up the sideline late. And Milroe just kind of stepped up towards and pressed the side, the line of scrimmage. And a nice little flick of the wrist, man. Just you're seeing him get comfortable with, his timing and his touch on
stepping up in the pocket, too.
He's not only is he throwing the ball, but he's directing a lot of his passes, and that's a great sign to see, man. When you're getting confident and you have that command in your passing, and so shouts out once again to this offensive line. Caden Proctor played a great game. Even the sack I wouldn't say it wasn't really on him, but you saw him slip up and he came right behind that and just mauled the guy on the next run play. So I'm more than satisfied with this offense, this defense. We saw where Deontay Lawson was missed. Simple as that. That was the main thing I could take from it. We can dive into that next after these super chats. Both Milroe's and Rees's growth is amazing. A testament to both of their hard work. Roll Tide Clinton Howard with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man. I think you're just preaching the same thing we've all been preaching all season. Just you don't see progression like Milroe's, with where he started at and to be where he is now. You don't usually see that. In college football on this, like at this level. So and then Tommy Rees, man, is just like you said, Coach Shawn, simplifying things and just like rolling with it. I think, and we can touch on this too also. Lila Gray Allen with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. Roll Tide. Started watching y'all's show a few weeks ago. Keep it up, not getting ahead, but if we keep growing every week, UGA is in trouble, and so is the CFP. Hey, I couldn't agree more.
Facts.
But Coach Shawn, I wanted you to, if we could for a quick second, with the offensive play calling and how we've simplified it. I think my only concern was, like you said, with later in the season, getting back to that run game. And when we did, it wasn't that we weren't running, is that we got away from the pre-snap motion.
Yeah, we sort of got away from. Yeah, facts, man. We sort of fell asleep a couple of drives. That's a whole fact, man. That's impressive that you've seen that as well. That's true. We sort of, and you know what? The fact that we kind of hit this little lull, I guess, and then we still had enough moxie to get back on script and do what needed to be done to continue the drives. I want everybody to remember this. Remember when Caden Proctor was getting beat early in the season, Jaylen Milroe would automatically exit the pocket. He would automatically exit the pocket. Now you see Caden doing just what you're supposed to do on pass blocking. Get him on the high shoulder, push him past the pocket, and you see Jaylen stepping up in the pocket. And that is going to make him dangerous. That's how we scored that touchdown. Yes. When he stepped up in the pocket, the safeties started to come up to get him. And that's when he let up. That's why Kobe Prentice was wide open. Open.
Coach Jay, I'm laughing because Coach Jay was like talking that whole phase out before it happened. He was like, if Milroe could just step up in the pocket, Proctor's giving him time, and like literally it happened like in a few seconds later. And I'm just laughing because everybody's seeing it. Is like now it's not just us seeing it; the players are seeing it, and it's like Milroe is just in this calm place, man. Coach Jay, you were about to allude to something before Coach Shawn. We went into that a little. I just had to highlight that about our offense. I don't think.
Oh no, it's just no. I'm just saying we need Georgia to win.
Yeah,
we need Georgia to win. We need Georgia to win every game. We can't afford them to lose. I mean, we'll get into that like later, but that's all I'd say.
Donna B. Curious, who joined the live game day chat. It was fun having you in there, Donna. She was going in.
Going in.
We got our own Miss Terry in the chat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah, she do not play. So shout out Donna. She said, and Miro played the game hurting. Man, that hit, I know that with those type of hits, that's
Yes,
like
sir.
nothing but
Had
muscle right
several
there.
of them.
So whew, real tough guy to go out there and compete like he did.
Yeah.
Laker Swag 11 199 super chat said Terrion should make All-American team. The boy
He
is
better,
cold.
man.
I think he's in the running for the top DB. Was it the Jim Thorpe? Is that the top corner?
That
Yeah,
should
the
be the
Thorpe
top
Award.
corner. Should be
I
the Thorpe
mean,
Award. For the
man,
individual position award, Thorpe is the
yeah.
highest for the cornerbacks.
I mean,
Let me say this, Coach Mook.
go ahead, brother.
That sideline route that they ran was a lazy route by that receiver. And usually cornerbacks get lazy with lazy routes. They just cover them and they feel like the cover is a success. Did you see when Terrion cut on that ball,
drive.
man?
He drives through the route.
Yes, sir. When he cut, you drive back through the phase, and it's like he was the receiver then. So that is impressive, man. That is impressive. That's what you want from your cornerbacks right there. That is what you want.
I don't think there's been any other corner. And I'm just trying to make the argument for him to Jim Thorpe. I don't think there's any other corner that's playing both the slot and both as a boundary at a high level.
Right.
I don't think
Nobody's covering the field right now. Nobody's covering the field. Nobody's able to go to all four slots of that phase in the position and cover. It's not many that's doing it at that level. He's facing first round talent in week out the last 3 weeks.
That kid has gotten better and better, man.
From Tennessee game till now, he's been covering first round talent, and he's stepping up to the plate. I also want to highlight something else we kind of touched on, guys. Not just him, but the technique is starting to show up on the field at all positions in the secondary. You know, last year we really got onto these guys about not trusting the technique, not trusting being in phase. And even on Caleb Downs' pass interference play, that was ticky-tack. I see a lot of hand fighting there. Ball is underthrown. I mean, he turns and looks back for the ball. The wide receivers, trying to gain position. I feel like that's a fair fight when both of them are going for the ball. But, it's ticky-tack. We live with it. But then to turn around and the similar situation happened on Hale's pass, and it doesn't get called. So, it was good to see that we were able to persevere and fight against and win against the refs today, too. Because there were a few calls that were big that could have really took our momentum.
That's a good super chat. Read that one.
Yeah. Aaron Goodwin with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that, man. Roll Tide Roll, fellas. Do y'all believe Terrion Arnold should have stuck with his man better on the motion on the first UK touchdown, or is there a reason he's sort of lagging there, made up for it with that pick, though? Hey, let's jump on it. That's a play that I wanted to highlight because I have a question about what's being taught on those motions. We have to switch that, in my personal opinion. We have to bump that. Stop trying to make the guy chase it, trying to go over or under. Just bump it and let's slide. Let's slide coverage. You bump and slide. It's the simplest thing. Keep it in front of you at that point.
Yeah, that happens a little bit too frequently now. Like the LSU game, that happened to us twice where Terrion got caught trying to foul the man, and he slowed down, and he got caught up a little bit, slowed down. There was no switch, and it ended up being a major, huge gain because of that. I think I completely agree with what you said. I think we need to start switching. I mean, this secondary, as far as communication goes, they've gotten so much better compared to the Texas game when it comes to communication. So I do wonder, is it because they simply just trust Terrion Arnold, or they simply just trust the corner to simply follow the process? Or is there maybe a mistrust where they don't believe that they can pass it off to the next man in order for them to take that happen? I think that's just kind of my question of where.
But you know what? This is what I did notice. And on that side of the field, when you're in the red zone like that, you don't usually see the corner go all in college football, not a lot. You don't see that same corner go all the way across the formation because the motion man is going to always have the advantage if you just trying to run a little 5 yard, you know what I mean? Out like a little 5 yard out in the flat per se. You know, you gonna have to be in a full-fledged sprint to keep up with the guy because they only needed 7-8 yards to score. You know what I mean? So that you're supposed to pass that off, definitely, especially where they were at in on that side of the field. You're supposed to pass that off, let somebody else pick him up if he's coming to me. If he's coming to the boundary, somebody else need to pick him up. To have Terrion going all the way across the formation, full speed, trying. And Terrion was a little late, so it was just easy. Dude just ran out, cut to the sideline. It's a little easy throw, a little easy throw and catch.
Even
a little easy dump off.
even if you want to slide, if you get that full motion there, if the automatic check is just drop for your boundary corner, just drop to the sticks or whatever, that is more of a sensible call, and still let the chase corner, press the line of scrimmage, man.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you gotta, check for a leak, check for the tight end release, check for all that as you coming across. But I mean, I feel like that's something that's definitely going to be fixed, especially when you talk about teams like Georgia being in the mix of being, seeing them in the SEC championship game, because they're going to want to get Brock Bowers in that same type of motion. They want to they want to get Lad McConkey in that same type of motion, which lead me to our next super chat. JG, we can kind of start dibbling and dabbling in this conversation just a little bit, not too much, because we don't want to get the rat poison, but we definitely want to acknowledge your super chat, JG, with the $10. Would love to hear you all's thoughts on Georgia and the biggest threat they present. I mean, literally what I was just saying, that pre-snap motion, creating that mismatch. If we're going to play it like that, that's going to get us killed all day, because they like to run off of that motion a lot. And you see how linebackers get their eyes looking. Well, Marshall gets his eyes lost in the backfield a lot. So what's you guys' thoughts on that comment there, as far as the biggest threat that Georgia presents? You could take it away, Coach Jay.
Yeah, I agree, man. Mike Bobo Mike Bobo kind of got that from Todd Monken, as far as just using that pre-snap motion to automatically get to automatically try to get those particular matchups, especially when they love to run 12 or even sometimes 13 with their tight ends, because they have a slew of them with Oscar Delp, Brock Bowers. Now, I'll say this: I don't think Bowers is playing that championship game. I think with tightrope surgery, for the most part, guys, when you have tightrope surgery and you have to, for the most part, he's running in a straight line, though. He's not going in directional. He's not blocking. He's probably not going to be playing into the college ball playoffs, but they have other tight ends that they can try to utilize, or even other players that they can try to utilize in the slot, and they can use a lot of that pre-snap motion in order to try to get us off. They do a really, really good job of that. They have a really good offensive line. They're just a much more balanced attack, I would probably say, I would say more than LSU or even Ole Miss to that fact. I don't think they're more explosive than LSU, but I think they're a little bit more balanced as far as how they really like to utilize that offense to its maximum potential.
For me, Georgia is more the thing that impressed me about those guys. Georgia's patient with the run, right? They don't panic. Man. They'll stick with that run. They'll pound you. They'll try to test your front. Their defensive line is super aggressive, very strong, very, very sound technique with their hands, very sound, man. But I do think that outside of Malachi Starks, their secondary can be had. You better believe that. They got some weapons, man. Their quarterback is playing well. It'll be a challenge, man. But I think if we can schematically put the right thing on the football field, we match up very well with them.
Right.
But probably better than anybody else.
I think we're doing the right things week to week to build up, to have that arsenal of different things we can approach them with and create a tougher look for them, instead of trying to match up and win the one-on-one every time. I think we're doing a good mixture of that with Kevin Steele, especially the zone pressures. I don't know if y'all was able to acknowledge or be able to appreciate the zone pressure that we were running when, we would force Marshall to drop out of the blitzes. It was like, not sending him was probably the best defense when it was time to send pressure. Don't send him. Let Campbell make the judgment, the QB spy press call. You know what I'm saying? Like, Campbell is just amazing. You know,
that's kind of crazy though, because that's his biggest strength is when you're sending him as an extra pass rusher, right? How he can defend against the run, and he was the weakness of that, right? So I'm like, okay, if we're gonna keep doing this, give me a Quindarius Robinson, give me a Justin Jefferson guy, a Blackshire, guys that can try to get out in open space, and guys that are full of range and can cover. Right, because Tresman can't even do that. You saw what he did against that Kentucky tight end.
Oh my God!
Back turn, out of position.
Gave up on the play.
Gave up on the play. Just arms flapping, like it's just it's like one of those inflatable, like those car insurance inflatable type things. Like I'm just like, what is he doing, man? But no, it's like, no. If we're ever in a situation like that, give me someone that's more athletic, guys that have more range. And because if he can't play well against the run or be that extra pass rusher, and he's taking terrible pursuit angles to try to get after the quarterback, and just overall just lacking the read or lacking visions when the defensive line are literally creating these big gaps for you to fill in, and he can't even see it anyway. This get him out. Just
get him
take
out.
him out. Take
Lakers
him out,
swag
man.
11 with the 199 super chat. Why y'all think Kool-Aid lost confidence in punt return? Coach Shawn, take this one because you had the perfect take, and I don't think it's better explained with Kool-Aid's confidence in his punt return. And then also give your take on why Coach Saban still leaves him out there.
Mm-hmm. I think Kool-Aid, if you look, he's fighting himself. He's looking to catch the ball only most of the time, and when he realizes he may have to return it, it's almost like he doesn't really try to actually be aggressive and field the punt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm noticing is after that play happened, he was fighting with himself, trying to motivate himself because he made a few plays on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I seen him getting hyped, I know what that's about. You make a bad play, it's up here. You know what I mean? You're trying to
let me get out
fight
of it.
Exactly. So when he got back there again, he caught the ball, made a good run. And if you look, the camera flashed to Coach Saban saying something to him he was on the bench. Everybody was just sitting down. Coach Saban went over there, and I could see when they were smiling. It showed Kool-Aid smiling. So I can imagine Coach Saban came and said something to him like, "You see, you know what I mean?"
Stop thinking so much.
It's a confidence thing, man. And punt return, you would have to do it to understand really what I mean by it. Punt return, Coach Smook and Coach Jay know. Punt returning ain't for everybody, man. You just can't stick a receiver back there just because he's a receiver and think punt returning is
it's a risky thing.
Yes, man. It's different from going out for a pass route, catching a pass, having 11 people running at you full speed, and you back there fielding the punt.
3 seconds turn into 9 seconds, man. That 3-second hang time is like
trying to find out what yard line to stand on and how far not to let the ball go over your head. It's just a whole thing. So, but it's one of those things. All for great punt returners, it's one of those things. One big play could make his confidence come back. Like, you know what I mean? One big play could. So, it's just one of those things, man. It really is.
Coach Jay, if you would think Coach Shawn was in the game day chat with me, but I said my thoughts was the only reason I could see why Coach Saban keeps putting Kool-Aid out there. One, the game presented opportunities for him to make up for his mistakes. The offense was doing what they had to do. The defense was generally doing what they had to do. So the score was never in question. The game was never in question. Let your senior guy, your veteran guy, go out there and fix his mistakes. Be a leader and work through it. Not only for himself, but for the team, because the team wants to see him succeed. You can see guys really going and trying to pick him up and keep him from beating himself up. And next play, his attitude, and Kool-Aid is real good about next play. We've seen Kool-Aid give up big ones. We've seen him make big plays. So I think, like I said in the Discord, it's more so of a thing like Coach Saban knows we're going to need that veteran confidence in that position, maybe in the Iron Bowl. Maybe against Georgia, we're going to need that one special teams fielded punt. It may not be a touchdown, but it's a key one where it gets us in great position to just kind of break open the game and set the tone or reset the momentum. So I could see the frustration with the fan base, yes, but you got to think, man, Kool-Aid did do damage that first year as a punt returner. He did some sneaky things, and like you said, Coach Shawn, all it takes is one small one that just shows him he'd know if he just would have made that one step is there, and that's all it takes to build up. Oh, I see what's happening now. I know how to set it up this time. So I totally agree, man. My boy Kenneth Cannon with the 199 says no more Georgia talk. Let's stay focused. You're right, man. We back on track. My boy PJ Steins with the 499 super chat. Love the post game commentary forever. I love Atlanta. Let's go. Would love for us to use Law in pre-snap motion more, orbit, etc. Talk about it, Coach Jay. This was I told him I'm jumping right on his back with this one. Go ahead, Coach Jay. How we need to just continue to use him in the offense.
I've been saying this, man, since we first started the show, man. We have Deebo Samuels on this roster, man. May not be as big as Deebo, he may not be maybe as explosive or agile as Deebo, but damn it, he's baby Deebo.
Kendrick Law.
He can knock you out with the uppercut. I mean, we got him on this team, man. And the fact that we're finally starting to really utilize him a lot more. I'm telling you, man, one of these days he's going to be lining up in that backfield. He's going to line up in that backfield. He's going to be taking carries. I'm telling you, he's going to do a lot more work as soon as we really figure out how to utilize him, because he's an all-purpose guy, right? He's that Tavon Austin, Percy Harvin. I'm not saying he is that exactly what they were, but he's that type of player. He's that type of player that you can utilize literally all over the field. You want to use him in the slot, you can use him in the slot. You want to use him as a boundary receiver, you can use him as a boundary receiver. You want to line up in the backfield, you want to use him in motion and takes those jet sweeps, you can. He is going to be a threat that I think defenses are they're gonna respect. You're gonna respect him when he's going to go on motion. You're gonna respect him and view him as a kind of a key piece, because you just don't know what he's gonna do. So I like the fact how we're finally starting to really utilize his talents, because like I said, he's different from Prentice or Isaiah Bond. Like during that receiving class, he's a lot different from those players. He is a different kind of caliber receiver that is basically all purpose. That is why I would, and even this is before the season. I tweeted this. I said I would really like to see Kendrick Law as my punt returner, because I know Kendrick Law has a ton of confidence. I know Isaiah Bond for the most part. As much, and again, I'm not trying to drift away that much from the point, but as Kool-Aid was making those mistakes, and I understand for the most part, you want to try to get him in rhythm and get him in confidence. I know that there were probably teammates on that sideline that were literally maybe had got their hand grip saying, "Put me in that game as a returner, man." Because I want cocky guys. I want guys that know how to take hits. Exactly. I know there were players on that sideline. I know there's Kendrick Law, who's had punt return experience. Isaiah Bond, who literally said it before, "Coach, give me a chance. Give me a chance to be a punt returner." Because as much as I like Kool-Aid and as much as I think he can definitely field those punts, he's not explosive. He's not the most agile guy. He doesn't have the most lateral quickness, and he's not explosive, right? I mean, for the most part, he's just not that type of player. Bond and Law are. So it's just, for me, I like what I'm seeing from Law. He's going to continue. I think his production is going to continue. His snaps are going to continue to go up more and more. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what Law does. He's going to do some very serious damage. And that Georgia game, I'm not trying to look that ahead, but potentially Georgia, Auburn, playoffs, he is probably going to be one of the key pieces that's going to get us there.
Not only him, but Amari and E-Black. The way they feed off of each other when you put them in route concepts together, that was a key that Tommy Rees identified. I don't know if the Alabama fan base was paying attention, but that was a key design pass play when you had Law go in the jet sweep motion and wheel up the sideline, and you had E-Black on that deep out. That was a beautiful play design. You saw the secondary was so shook about Law streaking up that sideline. It was like Milroe had maybe 12 yards of space. Let's face all of you, but Smook talked about Milroe and said what he could not be, but now y'all like, oh man, who brought it? Jance, did you bring this crap up?
I had to, man.
How? Yeah, when have I ever? You know what? I want y'all to go back to September. I want y'all to go back to September 2nd, 2023. Coach Smook made a very, very precise post on Twitter. And that post said, if Jaylen Milroe struggles against Middle Tennessee State and doesn't have production, and Ty Simpson comes in and has success, the season is his. That was before the first snap of the season. That was the last attention I gave to Ty Simpson being the starting quarterback, because from the first snap against Middle Tennessee State, go look at my status on September 4th. Milroe is our guy. I literally said it. It didn't even take the touchdown. It was the first snap. When I saw just the comfortability the team had in him off of that first drive when he picked that ball up and he ran it in the end zone. So get out of here with that. Smart guy, you've been trolling forever, man. I got to give you your attention now. You've been trolling forever, man. Come here and talk football one time. You know what I'm saying? Just come here and talk football one time. But yeah,
also, Coach Smook, also, not to interrupt you, also tell the young man he can go back to the shows we were doing before the season and listen to what we all said about Jaylen Milroe, bro. You know?
It's been crazy because
Thank you, JG.
People that's been coming in this show or just following us wherever we talk Bama football know Jaylen Milroe had tasks and things that he needed to prove to show us that he could lead this team. And every week I've came back and said, well, last week we talked about him not staying in the pocket. This week he stayed in the pocket, 300 plus passing yards. He's trusting the protection. Last week he wasn't leaving the pocket soon enough. I want to see that clock pick up. What he do the next week? Take off and he's pressing the run game with using his legs. So I don't know what people are talking about, man. When they talking about me shooting for trashing on Milroe, never that. It's just obvious things you identify when you want to see a guy grow, and he's literally answering every question that we have. So I
Shout out
love
to
it.
JG. Read JG's Coach Smook.
Yeah, JG been there.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? This one right here.
Yeah.
He said SPH and Smook convinced me Milroe was the guy. Straight up. It's a lot of fans that have been in my inbox, Twitter. I mean, it's not that I've been trying to prove y'all. It's just we've never seen a talent like this. Even the closest thing we saw to this type of athleticism at the quarterback position, Blake Sims, with the just raw arm talent, not really a quarterback yet, but just straight athleticism, can do things with his legs and get a deep pass out there. Even Blake Sims went on record to say Milroe was a different type of talent. You got to really find his niche and let him play ball. So
let me say this, Coach Smook. I want the fans to understand you have to really, really, really be a special team to defend somebody like Jaylen Milroe. You have to be able to play, I would say, quarters on the back end and just get home with 4. There's not a lot of teams in college football that can do that successfully. Texas wasn't really even successful doing that a lot. It was more of us just being young at that game.
Green.
If we played Texas today, I can assure you it would be a different game. It may be 2 teams in the country, 2 to 3 teams that can play quarters and really get home with 4 that would cause us some problems with Jaylen Milroe at this stage of his development. So, you got to give that man his credit, man. Just because we critique him and see and give up things that we see in our humble opinion that he could possibly do better doesn't mean we're against him. We've been on Jaylen Milroe before most.
Yes.
Trust that.
Yes, believe it. I mean, in the summer when it's supposedly a competition between him and Buckner, and I just looked at film and I'm like, even Jaylen Milroe's struggle against Arkansas last year and A&M, like he still looked steps and leaps and bounds better than Tyler Buckner, who had a whole season of starting under his coordinator at Notre Dame. So, I mean, it's just we faced the facts, man, and we knew this kid had to develop. Man, he did. He answered the call every week, and that was after getting set. He missed 27 reps. He's probably missed out on, maybe going against USF 35, maybe reps. He has not been able to take, and still has came to this point. We got something special, guys. Tim Lovett with the 199 super chat. We missed Deontay today. Too many missed tackles. Whew. Coach Jay, I'm gonna give you your time on that one. I'm gonna hit the super chat and I'm gonna let you get that because I know he got to get in on Marshall, man. It can be distracting when your mouthpiece is bouncing around in front of your face when trying to field a punt as pertaining to Kool-Aid. Davis Lewis Love, $5 super chat with the facts. Well, you better preach, Davis. Tim Lovett's comment, missing Deontay today. Coach Jay, now's your moment, man. Take it away.
I don't want to see him in the game anymore, man. Like if he's in the game, man, I don't even want him on special teams. I don't even want him on special teams, man. I just too many mistakes every single game, man. He just makes way too many mistakes. Can't learn from it. It's like Henry Toa, man. It is what it is.
You see my new name I gave him?
Exactly, man. You get it.
Tresman Toa.
Exactly. Tresman Toa, man. Even's wearing the exact same number like Henry T wore in his freshman year when he was playing at De La Salle, the exact same number. So I can't. Just some of the worst pursuit angles you're ever gonna see. Can't wrap up. Head is always down. Can't read and try to fill in gaps when the hole is. I still don't understand how in the hell he did not fill in that big wide open gap. Timothy Smith drives a guard all the way to the Sahara Desert, and there's a big wide gap that all he needed to do was step up in there, read it, step up, and that's a TFL. Instead, he plays over the tackle, and you can go back and look at the replay. He stands there. He stands there like he's waiting for somebody to come.
Leaning for what?
Standing there like somebody's gonna come like right across him, like he's waiting for somebody to cross him or something. Like he doesn't have the instincts to play at a high level in this position. He just does not. Right? You saw what Campbell was able to do when he got his first start. You saw the instincts, the natural, the awareness, his ability to play with range. how he's able to come down, make correct reads, and fill in gaps extremely quickly, even in this game against Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the key goal line stops or some of the key third downs or key run stops we made was because Campbell was able to fill in that hole in a hurry, and then everybody else kind of came in the pocket. That's why I said before, guys, this defensive line really gave up maybe one touchdown because they did an incredible job on so many different levels. Even Damian Payne was out there making huge plays in the run game and the passing game. And to see a lot of those big key plays given up because Tresman Marshall just could not play his assignment. No. Like I like for anyone who's wondering why isn't Tresman Marshall not getting any snaps and why is Campbell all of a sudden getting the snaps? This is why Campbell after one start against Tennessee took his job. You can clearly see. Now, I will say this, our coaching staff, we needed to see Jefferson. I would have rather seen Kendrick Blackshire, Quindarius Robinson. It's not like we don't have any other linebackers to fill in that role. We have the linebackers to do it. We decided to go ahead and stick with Trez. But even when we were down to our fourth string, Jeremiah Alexander, what did I see him doing? Reading key plays, and all of a sudden using his athleticism, get into the ball carrier extremely quick. First, had a TFL. When
yes,
that's what we need. We need guys like that,
bro.
man.
I was just about to highlight the fact that Tresman Marshall had 31 more snaps than Justin Jefferson and Jeremiah Alexander, and accounted for the same amount of tackles as those two players.
That's embarrassing, man.
That's crazy to me. So, Coach, my thing is, if not Blackshire, who came in and forced behind a tackle for loss, he didn't complete it, but he forced one. He had 2 solo tackles, cleaning up the hole. One solo tackle. Jahad Campbell, the second high tackle with tackles on the team with 5, 2 solos, 1 tackle for loss. Quindarius Robinson is getting in there and give you work coming from both outside and inside positions from weak and outside. So I really think it's time to get off of that Marshall train and spot play him. Not just get rid of him, because when he's fresh, when it's a downhill run game, he seems to be there. But this game, with all the assignments, it seems like the more you give him, the more responsibility he's had, the more you see him struggle. And we can't dumb that part of the defense down. That part of the defense, the inside linebacker and the weak, the Wills, being able to be rangy and being able to be versatile is key to this defense being successful. That's on the back end and up front, because the front, like you said, just creating chaos. Every time you saw them snapping from under center, our front was creating chaos. So go ahead, Coach Shawn.
For me, it seems Trez has regressed a little bit. It seems, he's never been a huge impact player in the pass game and pass coverage. But even in the run game, Trez used to be one of the most physical linebackers on this team, and he still may be, but it's like his decision-making now has gotten worse. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Trez in the beginning of the season was filling with some authority, man. I don't know. Maybe not playing has affected him. I don't know. I don't think he's bad as number 10 from last year.
Definitely not. He's definitely not. I was definitely trolling with
Do you think he's worse than Trey DePriest? You think Trey DePriest is better?
He give me Trey DePriest vibes.
I was just about to say that he give me Trey DePriest vibes straight up. Trey would have these plays where he would absolutely clean somebody's clock, man. Then he had these plays where I didn't even see him on the field, but he was there. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you reading? Like, I've seen one play where he allowed himself to get turned by a small lineman. He turned him, and dude popped it to the little running back, popped it to the outside. It was his gap. Running back came through there clean. So you got to be more aggressive than that. I think Trez is I think he's one of those guys, because he was injured all last year. So he hadn't had, outside the Bama reps, he hadn't had a lot of reps because he was injured that full year at Georgia. I just think he's one of those guys is when he's not playing, he'll sort of regress. I played with some guys like that. If they weren't very good practice players, right? And if they weren't getting game reps, first team in the game, they sort of fell to the wayside, I guess is the best way to say it. But it's kind of like what Coach Smook said. I think they'll find a way to spot play him. I think he's still an aggressive linebacker. I think he still can be valuable down the stretch. And I just hope they find a way to get him on the field and get him in situations that he's comfortable in, where he won't have to read the wrong thing and see the wrong things and put us in jeopardy.
Right. And at this point in the season, like I would like to allude to, man, just you can't really gamble with somebody like that, as much as you want to. I mean, hardworking kid, didn't come in with the I guess you say it's mine mentality. He came in, worked hard, good attitude in the locker room. I mean, you want to reward a guy, but at this point in the season, you got to put your best product on the field. You got to put your most consistent product on the field. It might not be your best, but you got to have consistency, and he's not giving us that. But I do, like I said, the spot playing him, just like that's why I feel like Tim Smith is sparking it and showing up now more than ever in his career at Bama, because he's not playing 40 plus snaps a game anymore. Tim Smith is less than 30 snaps a game, and they're big snaps. I mean, he's just causing chaos on the defensive side. I think he had a big tackle for loss and was in on the sack. So, I mean, just explosive because he's not having so much to do, spot playing him, doing what he does best, pressing the pocket. So, Tim Lovett with another $4.99 super chat, man. Hey, Tim Lovett, man, you really just, I think we just reached our super chat goal of $50. We got to get those young linebackers reps. It'll benefit the gauntlet we have next year. You know what? I've been wanting to kind of get on this subject about this team next year. I think this team and the amount of practice reps and the system that's being reestablished at Alabama, I think that young guys not being forced into heavy playing situations, we're going to have a good mix of veterans and young guys that just are comfortable with a system they're confident that the system is going to adjust to continue to fit them. You get what I'm saying? They've literally been able to watch our offense change to compensate a quarterback and an offensive line. And now
we just have to hope that Kevin Steele doesn't retire.
Right.
That's what I hope. If he doesn't retire, I think we're straight.
Pay the coaches, keep your assistants.
Yeah, man. You got to keep them assistants. I mean, you got to keep guys like Charlie Strong,
keep T-Rob.
Keep T-Rob.
Coach
they better keep T-Rob.
Running backs.
I did a camp back here in Atlanta this year, and it was several high school coaches that I know that I met. T-Rob is going to be very hot on a lot of people's radar this year, mainly Florida. They, for a better position, a higher quote unquote position, they better pay T-Rob, or he's outstanding. Keep that man, brother.
Last year, I want to say was the restructured contract for Saban. I think they closed it last year. Was at 23 or 22? They restructured his contract. And usually Alabama's good when they're trying to get in their stretch. They're good about tying guys down for 3 or 4 years. So I feel like we can keep him another 2 years for sure. Especially with the recruiting classes he bringing in.
Man.
Them secondary guys, I think he wants to get that on his resume because Downs is just, he's early phase of what T-Rob has been able to recruit. You know what I'm saying? He's early phase. T-Rob's true class is the Tony Mitchell, the Hurley, the Pope. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the class. I mean, and then you got the guys coming behind him, Peyton Woodard, going to be another freakish safety, or wherever if he end up playing star,
Bosco,
Earl Little. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like he got guys that just I think he's going to stick around and see them develop. Arnold being one of them, he's going to see that's probably going to be his first draft pick, his first rounder from Bama. You get what I'm saying? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I got some inside information. My partner, I don't know if I should say his name. I wonder if I say his name. Anyway, I got a homeboy who got a son who's a freshman on Georgia squad. And he was texting me, talking crazy about the game, back and forth. And shout out to Big A, Anthony Wilson. His son's a freshman. And he said that Georgia was in the hotel before they had to go, whatever they're doing, all of them in abundance, watching the Alabama game. So They know. You know what I mean? Coach, your fans can act like you want to act, but your team know.
They know.
The
college football, I will always I have that tweet. I hope it's still pinned on my page. The college football's worst fear, and I said this at the beginning of October, is that Alabama figures it out, because then all the air is out the balloon. Everything, all the hype is out the window for everybody else. These teams they feeling the pressure. Oregon's feeling the pressure to have to win out. Washington is feeling the pressure to have to win out. It's like teams are, Florida State is going to feel the pressure. Georgia's going to feel the pressure tonight. They at home. They got Ole Miss. The noise is only so much you could do to not hear the noise. The Alabama players have admitted it's only so much you can do to not hear the noise, because at some point the competitor in you wants to make the doubters wrong, prove them wrong, and that is driving this Alabama team right now, chat. I'm telling y'all. Shout out to the 185 in the chat, man. This is I don't want to go too fast, man, but this team is really they're peaking, and I can't even say peaking. They're hitting the stride later in the season than most people are not even. Most people are fizzing out right now, trying to figure out the next phase. We're just hitting the first phase of hitting our stride. It's like, running the 400. That first 200 is really like your tone setter, man. And then that 2 to 250 range, you pick it up. And then that 150 is your real kick, man, because your second win come in that last 60. That last 50 to 60 is your, and I feel like we just getting to that 250 where we just hitting that stride, getting ready to get into that kick. And the fact that we doing it against these type of caliber of offenses, I'm loving it, man.
I say this. We talked about this the other night. I feel like it's a lot of outside forces that really don't want Bama to make it, right? They rather see Oregon and all these goofy teams outside of us. So the fact that we come in and dominate Kentucky like that really, really bodes well. You're not going to stop talking about us. We're going to dominate our next two opponents and force you to talk about us. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping Georgia wins tonight. I want Lane to push them. I want them to be in a physical game with Ole Miss, though. I want them to we need good film. I want them to be in a real game where they got to dig deep to win. I don't think Ole Miss is going to beat Georgia. Georgia's a very, very physical team. I know Lane has his receiver back and their tight ends back, but I don't think the physicality of Ole Miss is going to carry over well with that crowd. Georgia's going to be pumped, man. They're going to be pumped to prove a point tonight. And Lane, I love Lane. I wouldn't mind seeing Lane come to Bama later on. You know what I mean? But I don't think his team is built right now for that type of physicality that he's going to see in the trenches with Georgia. And so
Pete Golden. That's my only doubt.
Yeah.
Pete Golden. Just he makes that cake.
But I can rival you though. I can rival you with Mike Bobo. This
is true.
Mike Bobo.
True.
Yeah,
But from what I'm hearing, Bowers is back, so Bobo looks like Joe Brady genius right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do. I do.
My boy JG says he wants to see us three on Bama staff. Man, I'd love to be a little grad assistant analyst, something, off the field.
I don't mind trying to be an analyst.
Look, give me that
right
on
the coach.
Sure.
Being right on the kitty chair.
Yeah.
Put me off campus, you know what I'm saying?
I know their terminology. I work several day camps in high school 1, high school 2, so I know their terminology. He teaches it to everybody.
Hey,
yeah.
I get in that film room. You want me to cut film? You want me to do cuts? I do cuts. Coach.
Exactly.
I do cuts. Yes, I will. But Ray Parham, he said Kentucky with the $2 super chat. He said Kentucky shouldn't have gotten 21 points. We said that, and I think we gonna chalk that up to the mental.
Yeah, it was a humble 21 points.
And that late 7 with that guy, 73 of their 90 something yards came off of that one run.
Yeah, they had 20, I think 22 or 26 yards rushing prior to that one run.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
See, the one thing about it is, I'm sorry, my bad, Coach Smook. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Real quick, fans will say that. They'll just see the 21 and think, wow, Kentucky. But you believe me when I tell you this. Coaches of the other teams know that wasn't 21 points. They know it. You understand what I'm saying? When you watch the game film, they'll see exactly what it was, right?
Mm-hmm. And also, man, just small plays where guys were really making aggressive plays. It was maybe 2 picks that should have happened too. Caleb Downs could have had one late in that drive where we they were pressing in the red zone. I think they ended up scoring on that drive too. But
stole a fumble. True.
Yeah, they took the fumble away from Christian Story after he gave up the big run. So those points, man, it's like, honestly, you really think about it, it could have been a shutout. You don't muff the punt, that they don't score. You know,
Facts.
the momentum of the game definitely changes or maintains. You know, you get the ball in Miro's hands, who is hot. That wide receiver core was hot. The O-line was just protecting beautifully. So, I mean, we can go either which way, but it is what it is. This team continues to do what I think their strength is this year, and that's be resilient. Every challenge that's been put in front of them, even in the loss against them, they've handled it well. They've handled it with some type of leaving us with some type of confidence that there is a next step. I Gavin Kane said, I respect all y'all, man. Block out the hate, roll tide road. Hey, that's all we can do, man.
Mm-hmm.
My God, he back. He said, I hate Pete Golden, but he knows UGA well enough to make this game interesting and maybe even win because Dart not going to give them 2 picks. I don't know. That's what I do.
Not gonna happen, bro.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't bank on Dart. I don't see Pete Golden doing enough to rattle Carson Beck either. Like,
especially with he doesn't have the personnel that he had at Alabama
for
for
whole
like
3 to
4 seasons. He does
not with
not
that
have the
defense he
personnel.
facing. Facts.
Yeah.
All facts, Coach J.
Ray Parham, he said, I wonder how the committee will look at the game. Clearly, the committee's not looking at any games. They have Ohio State number 1. There's
you saw
no
Michigan look tonight? Like,
yes.
Again, classic Michigan's type style, right? Everyone kept saying Joe Klatt saying JJ. This was what did he say? This was a pass first offense with JJ McCarthy at the helm. And what did he account for today? 60 yards, 60 yards passing
against Penn State.
Acting like Penn State was a Goliath. Penn State number 10. Get out of here. Hey,
come on, dog. Come on.
Yeah.
Tennessee's whooping Penn State right now.
X.
You get what I'm saying? LSU is going to put up 40 against Penn State.
Yes.
Come on, man. Mississippi State might beat Penn State 24-15.
But that's how they do, though, Coach J. They try to bloviate a team because they know Michigan's going to win. That way, when they beat them, they can be like, whoa, they got Penn State on their resume.
Look at the Pac-12 for perfect example, right? The most dangerous team in that conference right now is Arizona, right? Arizona is the one team that they have not. When they lose, they lose extremely close. They have competed with every single team that's in their way. Washington, USC, all the Utah, all the Pac-12 schools, including beating some of them. Guess who the one team and they should have won that game by blowout. But guess who was Arizona's toughest test from that schedule?
Who is?
Mississippi State.
Wow.
Mississippi State destroyed them. It was. I mean, because Arizona, all their touchdowns were in garbage time. Mississippi State were winning at one point 24-3. They were destroying them. But yet everyone want to talk about how Arizona is the most dangerous team in the Pac-12 and how they're a killer and how they're 6-3 and what's their rank? They're 20th or 19th or somewhere in those teams ranked right now. But yet Mississippi State on the road killed them. But no one's going to give them any credit. No one's going to give our the SEC any credit for it. Instead, we'll just take a look. We'll just take a look and say, oh, Washington, despite them almost losing to a one-win football team in Arizona State, despite Oregon almost losing to Texas Tech, all these games going on, we still want to go ahead and just up these conferences like they're just great and up these teams.
Even this Florida State Miami game, bro. Like Florida State is struggling with Miami. Like this is beyond me right now with this top 5. You know, at some point the resume needs to take precedence.
Kansas
if we're
lost.
not numbers, you get what I'm saying? If we're not number 6 this week, I mean, I don't mind Texas being ahead of us until they drop another one. You know, I don't mind it. They took advantage early. They beat us. I don't think they're regressing. They got an injury at Malik Murphy. Have they played today?
No, they played.
Did they play already?
Probably late night tonight.
So depending on if Quinn Ewers suits up tonight or not, now we can really put them to the eye test and judge what they put on the field. This is a conference game for them. This is a game that they need to clinch their division. I think I want to say clinch their shot in the title game. I mean, keep them ahead until they lose. But to say that Ohio State and Michigan look like more of a complete team than Alabama, or to say Oregon's strength of schedule because of their loss to Washington makes they haven't played one ranked team and they lost to them. Gave up crazy amount of offense to that same team. So where do they show their strength that they can compete against the teams that's you know what I'm saying?
No, they'll give Oregon all the credit for playing against Utah's third string quarterback. They'll get all the credit in the world for playing against their third string quarterback who couldn't complete a pass if it saved his life. But it is what it is. This is why we need Georgia to win. We need Georgia to win every game, because if they drop a game against Ole Miss, Georgia's out the top 5. They might be at number 6 or number 7. We may jump ahead of them a little bit, but we may still stay at number 8 and they'll be at number 7, and then Texas will be at 6 and we're gonna be at 5. And then even if we go ahead and win all the while, even though we have the best strength of schedule, despite all of the other teams, we'll still have the best strength of schedule. It won't matter at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, the College Football Playoff Committee, they view the eye test. They view, for the most part, what a team did earlier on in the season compared to what a team is doing right now late in the season. So it is what it is.
And it is what it is. But you know what? Before we just go off of deep end with this committee, it is only week 2. We've seen crazier initial rankings come out before, and more inconsistent reasoning behind how they came out with the rankings. If anything, this weekend, I doubt there'll be any major upsets. As hopeful as we wanted to be, we just have to hope that us winning out and the resume finally makes a difference. At some point, I believe it will. This is only the second rankings. We have 4 more. So, I feel like some teams are going to create some matchups. Like right now, I think Utah is playing Washington. I'm going to kind of tune into that one. They only down by 3. They have the ball right now. So, I mean, this could be a good game, and that'll handle the Washington. If Washington and Oregon have 1 loss, there's no way they could be in front of us. Strength of schedule goes out the window now, because your Utah, your 2-loss Utah team, who's number 18, just beat your number 1 Pac team, your top ranked Pac team, which is number 5. So it should play it out. And
it should.
It should. And the third rank is usually start giving you more so of a trend of what the committee is thinking. I don't know if y'all disagree or agree, but
I agree. I mean,
traditionally, that's how it's been. These first 2 weeks is always like, what in the world? But usually week 3 or the 4th rankings, they usually come around and start giving us a better picture of what to expect.
I'm sorry, Coach Jay. If Texas, Oregon, and Washington lose, we will be in the top. And we win out, we'll be in the top 4, guaranteed.
Yeah.
We need Washington to lose.
There we go. They just scored. I'm watching it too. Yeah. I was trying not to react, but
let's go.
I would love roll Utes, baby. Let's get it. Roll Utes in the chat, baby.
Facts.
Let's go. But y'all, I have just been elated. Just watch this team grow, man. This team on both sides of the ball. Defense has always been our anchor. We know. And I don't want to continue to just look forward, but most of our great teams, guys, those seasons where you knew this team was going to figure it out was when the defense led the team. And when the offense finally hit a stride, it was like it was hard to kind of take it all in because of how late in the season it happened. And Coach Saban was asked a question on a talk show earlier this week about if he had to compare this team on, I think it was Pat McAfee show. If he had to compare this team to a previous Alabama team, Coach Saban never does that, but he said the feel around this team is kind of like that year with Jake Coker. We had some quarterback questions starting the season off, and we all said that at the beginning of the season. If we had to pick a team, defense going to be solid, just got to figure out the offense, and the moment we do, it's up from there. That's literally what Coach Saban was alluding to with Coker taking over that offense and the run we had to win the national championship. And I think this team is really poised to produce that similar type feel, that similar type result, but with more talent. This offense really just opened my eyes even more today. Kobe Prentice, his emergence, Isaiah Bonds and Malik Benson, strong catches today, strong routes off of the short, quick hits. I mean, Burton was definitely missed, but you couldn't tell that he wasn't out there because Kobe Prentice was giving us what Burton gives us. So and Milroe's confidence, in that offensive line. The run game was solid. I'm just happy overall with this team and how they're growing, man. Final thoughts as we get ready to wind down and close it down. I'm going to hit the super chat and we can take it. Georgia's scared right now, guys. I really wanted 60 points, but I'm happy with it. Jay Townsend with the $20 super chat. And I think we had another one right here. Roll Tide. He said, roll Tide. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen. It's another super chat. Here we go. He said, roll Tide. We're rolling, brothers. Look out, Georgia. Jay Townsend with two $20 super chats. That's $40 from our boy, JJ. We really do appreciate it, man.
Shout out, Jay, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Coach Jay, final reactions, bringing it in, final thoughts as we just enjoy this game and get y'all prepped for our show on Monday as we dive into Chattanooga week.
I just want the college football playoff committee to open up their eyes, take off the glasses for a second, man, and just stop with the bias, man. I understand that the majority of you guys are from the Big Ten. Of course, Michigan's athletic director is on the college football playoff committee right now, so of course that's happening with them right now. You have Nebraska's athletic director, Maryland's on there. Like, you have a bunch of people from that Big Ten playoff committee. So I understand that for the most part, that conference is going to do everything in their power to try to keep Ohio State and Michigan in that top. Including, by the way, guess who the rest of it is? Pac-12. We only have one SEC representative. One SEC representative, which I believe was Kentucky's. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was Kentucky's athletic director that was in there. So I just want these guys to kind of just take off the bias glasses for a second, watch these games, watch the film like they're supposed to do, which they don't. But for the most part, take it off and just look at us. Look at our resume. Look at our strength of record. Because by the end of this, because like I said, Kentucky has a great chance of being ranked by the end of the season, especially if they go ahead and beat Louisville towards the end, which is possible because Louisville, who you got as the 11th ranked squadron in the country, almost lost to, what was it, Virginia?
Yeah.
Almost lost to Virginia. It's just, we, at some point, take off the bias glasses and move us up. There's no way in hell and then I didn't even talk about, for the most part, the positive the win rates that a lot of our opponents have gone against. I think we've only gone against really two teams that have had negative records. I mean,
that's Mississippi State and Arkansas. It's the only two teams that have negative records, man. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. I can't say that we control our own destiny right now. I think we need help. I think we actually do need help right now, because I think this playoff committee right now, I think they really want Washington to get in. I think I think Oregon will smash Washington anyway. So I think Washington will be out anyway. But they're trying to give any excuse for Oregon to get into the college football playoffs. Texas obviously got the one against us, and Florida State, with that crappy conference that is in the ACC, they're going to go undefeated, but they're not going to deny an undefeated team. So we need help. And we need this playoff committee to really just take off the bias lenses for a second and actually take a look at our resume and look at the conference that we play in and the Heisman candidate quarterbacks that we have played against. It just, like, you got to take a look at what we've done. Look at the explosive offenses that we've been able to contain. Look at the defenses that we've played against that were top 15, like Tennessee. We have the most complete schedule in the country. So please take off the bias lenses and give us a fair shake. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys, if we do not make the playoffs, let's say we do, hypothetically, we do everything we need to do, and we finish the season off 12-1, and we're left out the playoffs, we are storming. We are storming that playoff committee, and I'm not gonna make threats, but I'm telling you, man, a riot's gonna happen. A riot's gonna happen. So, man, please take up the bias lenses. Coach Jay, too much money to be missed out if Alabama finishes regular season conference champs, one loss, and they not number 3 or number 4 in the college football playoff. You know how much money you missing out on? They
exactly.
Come on, man. They're not. I don't think CFP is trying to gamble that. I don't think the NCAA wants to deal with that. You already messed up last year when you let TCU get in there, and fans didn't travel like you thought they would. You really thought that TCU fans who have not seen any type of success in I don't know how many years, you thought they was going to get up and travel to see their team go up against who? Nah, they saved that and watched that at the house. They watched that from the house. They man, come on, Bama travels. T-Town, the state of Alabama travels. The fans, the Alabama nation travels, man. You told us to go to Arizona. We 46 that doggone stadium in Arizona every time we play there. You get what I'm saying? As far as the fan base, so they know what time it is. We went out, we handle it. I don't see why we don't get it. But I will say to be be on that side of concern, I can definitely, if it plays out like we're assuming it will with the schedules and how they play out, and we just don't get in, man, with as the best one-loss team. Because like I said, Michigan or Ohio State, they can't finish undefeated. They can't hold the Texas game over us. Once the strength of schedule plays out. I I mean, we
I
have to
think
beat
will they?
Georgia.
I think that's the question though. Will they? Because there's never been a situation like this before where there's a one loss head and
out of conference
and a
head to
one
head that
it's never happened. Like this is the first time if it does play out that this will happen. And it's like, well, what are you going to take? Are you going to take the strength or are you going to take the actual result that happened on the field and they came to our place while doing it. They don't take it, no, let me take that back. They're very picky of what they like to choose as far as what early games does count. Because we got in because we beat Florida State, even though they finished 7-6. We got in because we beat them. Is the same thing going to happen with Texas? Are they going to consider us like, hey, we're a lot better than what we were in the early part? Or are they going to say, no, that's Bama. They won on the road and they beat them by 10 points. Like, I don't know what they're going to consider.
So question, are we saying we need to beat Georgia while they're undefeated? Make sure we're hoping Washington loses, right? Sometime between now and conference championship. I mean, Ohio State and Michigan, one of them has to lose, and they're 1-2 right now, I think. But
we need Oregon to lose. That's the one team that we really, really do need to lose. They have to lose a game. They got to lose a game. If Oregon win, because Oregon is gonna, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna smash Washington as soon as they get into the Pac-12 championship game. They're gonna smash. If USC can get the upset tonight, I think Oregon will take care of business against Washington, and that will be the end of the conversation because the Big Ten is getting in. The Big 12 will probably get in. The ACC champion, Florida State, if they go undefeated, which they probably are because that entire conference is a dumpster fire, they'll get in. And then us, if we do our job and beat Georgia, we will get in. We'll be the fourth team. So that's the only opponent that has to lose. Oregon has to somehow, some way, whether if it's against USC tonight or Oregon State, if DJ Uiagalelei can get his act together, they have to lose a game before that Pac-12 championship. Otherwise, it could be disastrous. It legit could be disastrous.
I feel you, man. Coach Shawn, final thoughts, man.
Final thoughts, brother, is real quick. I think the committee took 2 L's when they let TCU in because one, TCU didn't travel, and when they got beat the way they did, people was leaving. You put the championship way out there, out west. To Coach Jay's credit, I think he's right. You need Oregon to lose, but I honestly think you need Texas to lose too. Because if we end up with a like record with those guys, I think they'll take them on the sheer fact that they beat us. And Steve Sarkisian is a smart coach. He doesn't let them forget that. He mentions that almost in every press conference that comes down to talking about this, talking about the Alabama win, our record at home, and how they beat us, this, that, and the third. In 2018, Kyler Murray's Oklahoma team lost to Texas. They end up playing again in the Big 12 championship, and they end up beating Texas and going on to the playoffs to play us in the first round, I believe, that year. So it can happen, man. We just got to take care of our business. Want to let everybody in the chat know I just got this information. Monday, I may be late or I might even miss again. My daughter has, if you're in the Huntsville area, come over to Journey Middle School, please, and support the Journey Middle School Jaguars. They play Monrovia, and little Mia is going to be doing her thing. And Daddy will be in the front row. So I may miss you guys Monday. That'll be our last Monday game. My daughter's cheer squad is doing their thing. And but we just gotta win out, man. For me, we just gotta win out. If we win out and the committee don't get on their BS, but I will say this: if they do get on their BS, if this week right here, if some bad things happen with some other teams and we don't move up significantly, we all need to go to Twitter. Everybody need to go. We need to nationally revote everywhere, man. Everybody. Yep. We really need to raise some hell and let them know that Alabama's not going nowhere, whether they want us to or not.
Man, it's crazy because my thing is I'm not so bent on these rankings right now because I feel like this season will shape out how it needs to shape out for us. I feel like the type of schedule we had lined up was chess, not checkers. It don't make sense completely to me right now. I think Coach Saban knew coming into that Texas game what a win could do, but he also had factored in what a loss can do, not only for later in the season, but for this team. And like we said, we always bank on the early ones. If we're going to take one, take it week 1 or week 2. So you can have those 9-10 10 weeks, ahead of you to rewrite their resume, to right them wrongs. And I think right now, this Alabama team is righting those wrongs. And it'll be hard to not get this team in. And like you said, 2 L's with last year's playoffs. They can't risk that again. Not in the last year of this format. They can't risk it again. I think the biggest turnout was the Alabama-Georgia national championship. The highest ratings as far as game watch and everything was the Alabama-Georgia national championship. I don't see that happening again unless like some chaos happens, like we just seen Washington score against Utah. But if Utah loses, then you got Oregon lose again. Then you have Texas drop one. We beat Georgia the SEC championship. Somehow Michigan might lose or Ohio State might lose another one before they see each other. I don't know. If we have some crazy chaos like that, I don't see why they wouldn't have one loss, 2-time national title defending team in Georgia who lost in the conference championship to, surging Alabama back in the playoffs, number 2 and number 3 maybe, or number 3 and number 4. You never know. So we'll see. I'd like
look
to keep
for this too, Coach Smook. Look for
What's
this.
up?
Last year, I think it was very similar. I think Ohio State may have been 3 and Michigan may have been 1.
Mm-hmm.
And they played each other. Michigan wins, and they both end up going. So look for the Big Ten, man. They're propping up. They're setting it up right now with this Michigan Ohio State. They're just so great. It's so great. Then the loser, you know what I mean, Coach Jay? So look for that.
Ohio State has the best resume in college football. It's ridiculous.
How
man.
though?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's
ridiculous.
Let's do it. I didn't want to do it this show, but we got to because I was looking at their schedule yesterday, and I don't think they've played. Notre Dame is their best win.
They're counting Penn State as one of those great wins.
8 points though, and you saw what just happened to them today against Michigan. They don't have an offense.
It's a whole fact.
Literally 0. And your defense is not shutting people out. Ohio State, like you're averaging giving up 14 points a game to offenses that's not even ranked in the top 50. I think the highest ranked offense they played was Maryland. I mean,
they're setting it up. They're setting it up right now, though, man. They're setting it up. They
Minnesota, Michigan State, and Michigan is what they have left. That's bad, man.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Oh, real quick, Gavin Kane, not Monrovia, Huntsville, Madison area, Monrovia.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You good, brother? Yeah, I don't know, y'all. We'll let it play out. Let's not worry about that. We got Chattanooga next week. Hopefully this is a game we get deep into our depth and let the young guys get out there and just kind of just fly around and get some good game reps. It's a home game, of course. Hopefully this is one of those games where we just get those young guys in and let them fly around and have fun. We get a glimpse of this future and get possibly some meaningful reps. We get into that Auburn game, things get spooky. So definitely want to go into Chattanooga healthy with the right mindset and ready to just handle business and, create some more style points, win big, win clean, and do what we do as a Bama Nation. So as we close out, Coach Jay, tell the people where they can find you, brother, and all that good stuff, man.
Jant716 on Twitter. Of course, the caption is right below. Jant Sports on YouTube. I'm actually about to be doing a video right after this thing is over. So catch me on there if you want to see my uncut version of it. And then also too, I'm also going to include this, man. You got to catch me on the Coach Smook Network for Discord, game chats for the most part, mostly on Saturdays, guys. We be getting lit in those game chats. So again, I know, like I said, I know a lot of you guys like game threads. So if you want to find a really, really good game thread for the most part, you can't really find them on Twitter or whatever sort of social media platform you're using. Make sure to definitely go on. Make sure to follow Coach Smook on Twitter because he'll post those. He'll post the link always to his Discord server below, so you can just go on there. You can actually kind of accept the invitation or get the code down there, and then you can, for the most part, we'll be going in, man. Like I said, Donna, she's in the game, she's in the chat. She'll tell you. We got guys like Lucien. We got some LSU guys. A lot of college football fan bases down there. We just be going at it, kind of just. It's a good time, man. It's a good time to kind of interact live on the game threads, man. So definitely make sure to follow Coach Smook on his Discord server.
For sure. Coach Shawn, take it away, brother. Tell the people where they can get you.
First, thank you, Gavin Kane. I appreciate you. And so does Mia, man. Thank you. You can find me on the Twitters. I call it the Twitters. Just learning how to work it, getting better every day with it at JMHO Sports Talk. Just my humble opinion, Sports Talk. I just follow Coach Smook and try to do whatever he does on there. Follow Coach Jay and just try to copy them. I'm learning every day how to use this daggum thing, but I enjoy tapping in with everybody. People have tapped in and hit me, and I really enjoy it, and I appreciate you guys. But that's where you can find me.
All right. Hey, and also I forgot that I could do this now. I just created a clip from the show. I should have been clipping because we had some hot takes, but I'm gonna go back and watch it and do it. But yeah, you all know you all can find me on everything at Coach Smook on every platform. Like I said, we're building a team, we're getting a network together. And thanks to Kyle Henderson and Bama Football on YouTube for providing the platform and just, stretching and letting those branches grow, man. I mean, this what he's building here is solid. And we're just growing together as a team. I love doing work with my brothers. We looking to expand a little bit, so don't be surprised here soon. We might have some surprises up here soon for y'all, but big things coming for this network here. As long as you all continue to support, we appreciate every super chat. Let's just run them down the line like we did last show. I think you all really appreciate that. Gavin Kane with the $1.99. Clint Howard with the $5. Lila Gray Allen with the $4.99. Donna B with the $2. My boy Lakers Swag with the $1.99. Big super chat from Aaron Goodwin with the $10. Another $10 from JG. Lakers Swag with another $1.99. Kenneth Cannon with the $1.99. PJ Steins with the $4.99. Matt Duke with the $1.99. Tim Lovett with the $1.99. Davis Lewis Love with the $5 super chat. I think that was his first super chat here on our show, too. Appreciate that, Davis. Tim Lovett again came through with the $4.99. Ray Parham with the $2. Gavin with the $1.99. Ray with another $2. He what's the name? Last $2. I forget the artist name. Old school. Jay Townsend Roll Tide. He had the $20. Gavin with the $1.99 and Jay Townsend with the $20 super chat to round it out. We definitely appreciate you all. The more y'all do them and the longer that list gonna get, and the more time we're gonna take up to let you all know that we really appreciate you guys, man. We really do. At the end of the day, it's all about that Crimson Tide football, man. And you all know where to find us. You all know where to. Don't forget Monday night with the coaches. We're here. Is it 7 p.m. or 8 p.m.?
It is 7.
7 Eastern, right?
7 my time. I think
7 Central, 8 Eastern. So 7 Central, 8 Eastern here on the network here. And then also on Wednesday, we do the college football ranking reactions and, just talk about college football in general. We're looking to get some other fan base analysts that are in the top 10, top 15 rankings. One loss team analysts, people that cover those networks. And y'all going to see some different type of content being circulated on the channel. Continue to support Kyle and all the clips and everything that he's posting. He'll be posting Coach Saban's interview. Probably already posted, if not already on the channel. Jay Townsend came through with another $5, man. Appreciate the super chat again.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, man. And yeah, man. We're just gonna continue to just push the network, guys. We got a lot going. Don't forget to check us out on Bleacher Report too. Myself, Kyle Henderson. We both do Bleacher Report segments. If you just go on there, look up both of our name at Coach Smook. Look up Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on Bleacher Report. You will find him. And we get our segments. They channel all viewership, all algorithm to our segments when we talk Bama football or college football in general. So definitely come through and support that. And all your monetary gifts are greatly appreciated. All your likes, all your shares are greatly appreciated. And with that being said, roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Tide.
Let's get it, baby. Spinning Willow.